What's up, y'all? Alright, today I'm going to show y'all how to rebuild one of these little two-stroke carburetors. Now this is off of a chainsaw. You can see I got a new carb kit here, as it says, carb kit. And I got my carb right here. And we're going to get this thing stripped down, cleaned up, and rebuilt. So you can see we got a new carb kit here. We got the carb itself right here. And now we're going to strip all the parts out of it and clean it in my ultrasonic cleaner, and then we're going to rebuild it. If y'all want to watch me cleaning it, check out this video in the description down below. I'll put a link and in the card to this video. If y'all want to watch me rebuild this thing, stay tuned and we're going to get this thing rebuilt. Alright, so now we got our carb laid out here, and it's nice and clean. We got all our parts laid out nice and neat, so we know what we're working with. We got our old parts over here. We got our little base piece, our top piece, carb body itself, a little rubber piece. These two, you know what, I'm about to leave these out. These are stops to prevent you from tuning the carb, you know. I don't know what they're there for. They might be to stop it from untuning itself. I think they're there to prevent you from tuning it to keep it within the EPA specs. You know, they don't want you running it too lean, too rich. Well, they don't care if you run it too lean. They don't want you running it too rich. So these might be stops for that. Y'all clue me in if y'all know what they're for. Maybe they're just to stop it from backing itself out. Honestly, these things suck, and I'm probably just going to leave them out. So what we need to do now is move all this stuff to the side, and we're going to dump a little carb kit. See? And you know I'm not lying to you because it says carb kit on it. So you know there's not a cheeseburger in here or something, because obviously there's a carb kit in there, if you didn't know better. So dump this out. You can see we have our new diaphragm, and I'm not going to tell you what all these are. I'm just going to lay them out nice and pretty. Okay, so it gets to a point where it doesn't matter because you can see what they are. But you can see it's got a ton of different parts in here. Now, one thing I want you to take into consideration here and note is these. Well, if I can pick it up. Now, they should all be the same, but you can see they're made out of different materials. This is almost like a film negative thin plastic. I don't want to bend it. This is a rubber, which is what I'm most familiar with. But you can see there's different types right here. There's this shiny plastic one. There's this. It's some kind of synthetic material. I don't know what it's made out of, but I think I'm going to try to use this one. Should be alright. Then there's this rubber one. Now the rubber one's going to go bad eventually, obviously. But I've seen a lot of guys use these ones. I don't know, it might have different applications. Yeah, that's plastic. I hate plastic, so I'm not using that. And you can see they should all be exactly the same. Yep, they're all the same. So I've done this before. I'm going to try this one out. If it doesn't work right or it runs like crap, I can take it back apart and swap it out for the little rubber one. But yeah. So we're going to rebuild it, and I might change my mind halfway through the video and go for the rubber one. We'll just see. So lay those to the side. I feel like the rubber one would seal better. But that little thin plastic one, it must be for something else, because look, I'm not using that, and I'm not putting that in chainsaw carb. So we have our new little screen, and it's bent up, but it's alright. We'll reshape it. Get that nice and shaped up. We're going to need this screen. Okay, let's lay out. Now we're going to lay out our parts we need and our parts we don't need. We are going to need new diaphragm, obviously. See, maybe we could focus. We're going to need a new diaphragm. Check. Screen. Okay, we need the gasket that goes on the diaphragm. I know we're going to need that. Is this Which one is it? Okay, so we're going to compare it to the old part. Yep, we need that one. This. Our new little keeper thing. Those little plugs, I got to pop them back in. We're going to need those. The spring, I don't know what that's for. Pin. Let's see, I need this gasket. God, I hope this is the right kit. Yeah, it's right. It's just got this little extra piece on there. Okay, got that. All right, so let's get this thing put back together. Move all this stuff to the side. Okay, put that over here. That, don't need it. This, yes, I'm gonna use it. Okay, so we got our new needle here. All right, time to put it back together. Enough talking. These things, you can see it's nice and clean in there. I really wanted to get that little screen out. See that screen down in there? It looks like it's messed up, but it's not. It flows just fine. That thing ain't coming out. And you know what? I don't care. It's staying in there. It works just fine. It comes with a new one. I've never seen someone replace that. I mean, dude, this little clip, you got to pop that out. This one isn't even like that. It's way thicker. This shit is not coming out of there, and I'm not going to sit here and play with it. So let's put this thing back together. Put these plugs back in here. First, we're going to start with the big one, because why not? Now, when you put these plugs in here, the way you do it is, you put it up like this. See the dome? Dome goes to the sky. See how it's convex and concave? This is the part. It's like this, right? It's like a dish, like a bowl. Yeah, there you go. There you go. See it? All right, so we're going to put it so that it's down like this. So when we hammer on it, it flattens out in there. They also make some stuff called, I think it's called gasola, something like that. I don't remember what it's called. But, well, it goes just in there, just like that. Now we're going to get a socket that fits over this and just tap it until it squishes out. Alright, so we got a socket. You want to make sure the socket fits over it. Like that. This one's a little big, but it should work. I might have to get a smaller one to finish it off, but put it on there and squish her down. Did I ever tell y'all how much I hate these things? Man, I hate these things. That's why most people, they normally just leave them in. You got to make sure it's squished down good enough. That isn't going to do it. And this socket is not my friend, so I'm going to get a punch. I lied. We got a nut driver. Squished. Check it out. Yep. That looks good to me. You don't have to go, make sure you don't go too far because it'll mess it up. But that one looks good. Now we're going to put this little one back in there. A clip's still driving me nuts, but you know what? Don't care. I'm putting that thing in there. It's going to be done. Okay, here's the other one. Same thing. Dome part to the sky. This isn't rocket science. I mean, really, anybody can do this. Just takes a little time. Alright, so now I got the one on the top, that little one in there. and I had to trim it down with a file a little bit because it didn't want to go down in there, but it's down in there now. So if you got to trim it with a file, I've never seen that before. It might just be a, you know, weird thing, but I'm going to punch that one down flat now. Make sure that bad boy seals. You don't want to mess this up. It's starting to gouge into the car body a little bit. It's alright. I'm gonna get me a punch. I lied. Punch number 2. Finish this one off a little bit better. Pretty well. Pretty good. Alright, she's done. Yeah, you want to make sure. I got to get y'all a close up of this because you're going to want to make sure. You see? It's nice and squished down in there. It's kind of hard to pick up, but you want to make sure that it's not too much and not too little. I've seen these fall out before, but you know, once they're squished in there, it's pretty good. Guy must have been careless. It was on the outboard, and took the outboard apart, took the carb apart, or took it off the boat rather. Started shaking it. Ding 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 ding. I'm like, what is that? What is? Took it apart, dude. Sitting in the bottom of all 3 carbs. 3 carbs. So it's a 6-cylinder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got like 6 of the things in it. They all just fell out, and it wouldn't run right at all. Because see, if these things aren't working right, the gas will go all up in here, and it will just mess it all up. These seal. These have to be sealed. That's the whole point of squishing them over like that. So these are good. Yeah. So now we gotta get the rest of our parts on here. Next, we're going to find our new needle and our new, I'm gonna have to keep y'all out of focus. It's gonna be a little far, but you'll see what I'm doing. The needle and the clip. Then we're gonna get our little rod. We're gonna put the needle and hang it from this little clip thing. I know it's hard to see. Well, we're gonna be complete here. We're gonna show y'all exactly what we're doing. It goes like that. And then the spring goes in that little perch right there. See a dimple? That's where the spring goes. So we're going to stick it all in there like that. Now don't let this spring go flying across the shop. You'll cry, I guarantee it. You got to get a whole new kit or use your old one if you do. And I'm going to shut up and grab it. Okay, just set the spring down in there. Just like that. See? I'm not even going to attempt to do this without it being on the bench. So, set this spring down in here. Come on. Alright, keep fiddling with it and you'll get it in there. Alright, now put that screw in and get it nice and tight and don't strip it, please. Now we can see it's working just fine. There probably is some way to adjust this, but it looks like it's perfectly flat out of the back of that, so that's how I'm going to reset it. Alright, that looks good to me. So now we're going to go to our other part. We got our new pumper diaphragm and our gasket. Now, this is the part that always gets me. I've rebuilt a ton of these. This is the part that always gets me. Which way does it go? And I'm going to have to look at the parts diagram right here because somebody was in here before. Parts diagram and see which way these go. The gasket, does it go down first or does it go on the plate first? Which way does this go? Up or down? So I'm going to check the parts diagram real quick and I'm going to slap it back on here. But if I'm guessing correctly, it goes that way. Let's see. I don't remember. Alright, I'm going to check it and y'all should too. Alright, so it goes like this. Diaphragm, then gasket, this side down. Your carb might be different, but for this one, it goes like this. Let me double check before I button this thing up to make sure. Yep, it's all clean. It's all how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Okay. Diaphragm. Gasket. This little hole doesn't really matter where it goes. Put it however you want. I am going to put it... doesn't matter. I'll put it like that. Okay, so screw this thing together. One screw. I know this is probably boring. Y'all can skip to the parts that you're probably wanting to see how it goes back together. But yeah, you can look at the parts diagram. I do it all the time. Because no one remembers how these things always go unless you've rebuilt 100 of them. Okay, so I'm going to screw this back together. And then we're going to rebuild the rest of it. Alright, so tighten her up. Use a big screwdriver so you don't strip it. Down. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. Okay, now time to do the top. We got to put our new screen right up in there. So it's probably all deformed and stuff. And all misshapen. So reform it. I hate these things. I really do. I hate these little carbs. I'm sorry. But man, they stink to work on. I mean, they're not that hard to work on. But when you're filming it and you got a camera in front of you, it's tough. If I if I hadn't fixed so many of these before this, it would be even tougher. But like I said, I've rebuilt a good bit of these, so hold on. Alright, so it's in there. There we go. It's nice and in there, and that was not fun. So now this one goes diaphragm, then gasket, then metal piece, top piece. Diaphragm. Okay. It goes this way. Just like that. And then you're going to screw it. Now, I know a lot of guys would just say, oh, I'm not messing with that. I'll just get another carb. They're so cheap. Don't buy the China ones, please. Do it for me. Just don't buy them. Rebuild it. It's a Walbro. It's good carb. Don't buy the China one. It's not made the same. It's not going to tune the same. Don't do it, please. I don't care what anyone says. Can't be that lazy. Alright, so, I mean, it's done. I already put these back in here. You're going to have to reset these. I'm going to have to read the manual and see what they're supposed to be set to, because somebody played with them before, but it's done. So I'm going to reset these just so I don't forget. Half, 1, I don't even remember. I think low's like 3/4. They were all messed up. That's half, that's 1. I'll just set them both to 1. I'll double check that. That's a whole nother video in and of itself, how to tune a 2-stroke carburetor. It depends what it's on, a chainsaw, whatever. But the thing's done. It's rebuilt. And I'm probably going to leave these stupid caps off. Man, I hate these things. It's already got a spring on it. It's not going to change. That is going to stay on the bench. But yeah, y'all. See, now you can get in there and tune the carb better. You don't have those stupid caps on there. Thanks for watching, y'all. Don't forget to check the links in the description down below, because I'll put links to where you can find this carb kit cheap. It's like, you know, $5 or whatever. That way you don't have to pay $20 to go to a shop and get it, because you're going to have to buy gas and do all that. It's a waste of money. You can just order it cheap on Amazon. So check the description for that. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe while y'all are at it. Later.